What's up, and welcome back to the Inside the Diamonds podcast. You might figure out it's not JC, it's CJ. You're stuck with me and me only apparently tonight. JC is feeling a little under the weather, so I'm going to try to roll this thing out on my own, and we'll see how this goes. The one thing is, we know I can talk, we all know I can ramble, but we're going to try to keep this short for you. But I can't let us miss out on what happened over the last week or so. So I got my phone ready to roll. I got JC's layout ready to roll. And we're going to do the best we can with what we got. So let's roll this out, huh? So the first thing JC and I talked about doing tonight and getting this going was our quick recap of the last week. And so let's start this off with the one team I don't want to talk about, and that's the Yankees. And they are just... I thought without Garrett Cole, they were going to be a problem and, struggle out of the gate. But it's the exact opposite. They look good. They look good right from the jump. That lineup's a problem. The pitching's a problem. And it's going to be them and the Orioles, I think, right now. I mean, granted, we're 2 weeks into the season, so everything can happen. Anything can change. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. And being from, the New England area, Marathon Monday, we know full well how a marathon works. So they look good, though. They look good. And as a Red Sox fan, if they can sign Juan Soto to an extension, I don't like it. Also, if you're a Yankees fan listening to this, you got a full experience of Alex Verdugo yesterday in that play at first base. That should not have been a double play. He should have run that ball out, and he should have been safe at first. But here we are, out at first, and the Guardians won that game. But that's sometimes what you're going to get with him. He's hit or miss. He's either going to have a good day or he's not going to have a good day. Another team I want to talk about from the second week of the season. Second week? Really? Wow. The Cleveland Guardians. Another team in the division for a team that I root for, that I don't know how they're doing this. I mean, I saw Bieber went down for the season, and they're still finding a way. They're still rolling. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Because I had them finishing, I don't remember if I had them finishing second or third, but they're still rolling. Like, didn't even skip a beat. Xavier Curry today, Xavier, I don't even know how you say his name, Curry, looked damn good. Damn good. After I said to all my friends today that he wasn't going to look good, I thought the Sox would score 3+ runs. That looked terrible. I don't know how the Guardians keep doing this. And, the Naylor brothers are killing it. Jose Ramirez is doing his thing as always an MVP candidate. And now Ohtani's out of the AL, so Jose Ramirez could be a AL MVP candidate. And he's continuing to do it. That team wins the division. Everything about them is up for an award. I mean, Jose Ramirez could win MVP. Stephen Vogt could win Manager of the Year. I believe it's Stephen Vogt. And you name your pitcher. Tristan McKenzie looks great. He reminds me of Marcus Stroman. I mean, the guy's not going to strike out anybody. I think he's got 6 strikeouts in the year. But he'll get guys out. He'll take care of business. I mean, the Guardians look fantastic. And the final team I want to get to, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Still, I mean, the Brewers are in first place right now, but the Pirates. And to think of what they have coming, I mean, we haven't even talked. I'm going to get into him a little bit later, but Paul Skeens still isn't up. And I've said this on podcasts. I mean, we're on episode 6, and we've talked about this and that team and the prospects they have for a little bit now. We got time. That team's not going anywhere. This year they might fall off. They fell off last year. They might fall off this year. We'll see. But Paul Skeens coming up, add that to that rotation. They look good. They look really good. Also, little quick congratulations. Andrew McCutchen, his 300th career home run. Really, one of the best hitters I like to watch. The guy is fun. He's got a great plate approach. I wish he was a Pirate his whole career. I really do. Because him in a Pirates uniform, the fact that he signed a 1-year deal this year, got back there last year, he just continues to do it. And I like seeing him in Pittsburgh. It's just where he fits. There was nothing better. I don't remember what year it was, but that play-in game in the wild card when they used to do that one game and it was Pirates Reds, and Cueto was on the mound for the Reds at Pirates game. That was fantastic. I was so happy watching the Pirates get moving on. So I'm happy for that. But they're a lot of fun to watch, and they got a lot of things coming. O'Neal Cruz looks great. That team is good. That team is really good, and we see JC and I have talked about this nonstop. That division is wide open. It could be anybody. It could be any of those 5 teams. And right now, it looks like it's the Pirates division, and they're just going to run away with it. And I can't really say anybody's going to take it away. I mean, the Brewers. I didn't think the Brewers had a shot, and they came out of the gate and they're hot. You know, I thought that was a team that was going to be sellers at the deadline, and Adames was an option, and they were building for next year. That's why they signed Woodruff for a 2-year deal, thinking he's going to rehab for 1 year and he'll be ready to go next year. Not the case. They look good too. And Yelich has figured it out, it looks like. So that's my 3 teams to start the week that jumped off the page at me. And guess it goes right into what I was just talking about. What's the highlight of the week? Well, the highlight of the week, Jackson Holiday got to call it. The number 1 overall prospect in baseball. Got to call it. Now, granted, has he done anything? No. But his presence, I mean, I'd have to pull it up, and I'm going to do that right now. Since he got called up, so he made his first appearance on, I want to say it was Wednesday. Let's make sure on that. I want to stat check myself. His first game was, so Wednesday. I was at the Red Sox-Orioles game on Tuesday. Of course, they call him the day after. I'm not there. Since he's been called up, they are 3-2. They're currently up 7-4 on the Orioles right now. I mean, the Twins, Jesus. And has he done anything today? I don't even know. Has he gotten his first hit yet? He is 0 for 3 today. And he did get his first hit. He got his first hit on yesterday against the Brewers, going 1 for 4 with a run scored. But he made his presence known against the Red Sox. Even though he went hitless. He had a RBI, I believe it was in that first game on Wednesday. Just a ground out that drove in a run. He'll figure it out. It's a little speed bump. He's figuring it out. But adding him to that team, and I've said this before, the reason why I picked them to win the World Series or be in the World Series from the American League is they have the prospects to go out and get whoever they want. They could go add whatever's at the deadline. I mean, at the end of the day, right now we're in the second week of the season. And, somebody falls off and they're going to be sellers at the deadline. Now, right now, I don't know who that is because it's such a wide open thing. But they could look to move an arm. And the Orioles will come and say, I got 6 prospects in the top 100. Now, Holiday is not one of them, so they got 5. And they got log jams everywhere, but they have no pitching. So they come in and say, we'll dangle some of our prospects to get a pitcher. And what team's going to say, well, we're not there right now. Let's go get a couple bats to our lineup for the future. And the Orioles all of a sudden are one of the best teams in baseball because they got a 1-2 punch. And let's not forget to mention, John Means isn't back yet. There's another arm right there. He could be a number 1 when he's on. But he hasn't pitched yet this year. He's coming back from Tommy John. He threw a no-hitter. I believe that was 2022. It's another arm to that rotation. I mean, they're just loaded everywhere. Cade Povich I forget where I had him ranked in my top 10 for the Orioles. But it's another arm. That's a prospect that's coming up. I mean, they got arms. And Grayson Rodriguez is another one. He looked good the other day. He's looked good all year. So that's another arm to watch. They have the unlimited amount of talent to go get somebody to make their team better. And they have what they have right now, where Corbin Burns looks like a Cy Young candidate, like everybody expects him to be. Now, granted, I still picked Tarek Skubal, and aside from that Oakland start, Tarek Skubal looks like a Cy Young candidate. He pitched good last weekend. I forget what day he pitched. But he looked good. He looked dominant. I don't even think he gave up a run against the Twins. Oh, it was Friday. I don't think he gave up a run. That was a series split for the Tigers. So that was good to see. The offense for the Tigers is what it is. They got to figure that out. Javi Baez homered. Torkelson still doesn't have one. So they're working through some things there in Detroit. They'll get there. My next thing. Let's do Yeah, I'd read. Again, I'm working on this on my own. So I'm sorry. I am sorry right from the get go if this is not what you're used to. Granted, JC and I can feed off each other. We can do whatever we want, but I'm trying to do this on my own. I'm trying to make this work. I want you guys to get everything you can. I don't want to miss a week. So, there might be a weekend where Monday I'm sick and I can't do it, and JC's got to cover for me and do it by himself. There might be a Monday again where JC's sick and he can't do this again or he's busy. But we're here for you, and we want to continue doing this for you. Which brings me right to the. Oh, what am I doing here? Making this work. We're making this work. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna go right to this. This is what I said. I mean, you don't want to hear me talking about myself? Then help us out. You come join us, and you can come be a writer, an editor. You could come do the podcast with us. I mean, you could be a fill-in for the podcast. I go out and I'm out for Monday, or JC's out and you're helping me out. It is what it is. You can come help us out. We can use all the help we can get. We need writers, and we need people that will they'll care about baseball. They'll want to be a part of the game and help us out and continue to grow as what we're doing. We got something special going here. We got something really special going here, and we got a great group of people. We're a close knit family. I've reached out to a couple of writers who haven't written lately and just checked in on them. So that's to tell you where I am as a senior editor, where I care about my writers and I want to make sure everybody's doing all right. I want to make sure everybody's okay. You know, I like this. I've been here for over a year. This is actually, I think, my 15th month. So, we're getting there. And there's a lot of good content coming out. There's a lot of things we're doing. There's a lot of things I want us to do. But we can't do that without you. And this isn't your full-time thing. Like, don't worry. We all have jobs. We all have jobs outside of here. And, we come in, we do, because we care about baseball. We care about the game. We love the game. We love what we do. That's all it's about. So, if you can come in, commit one article a week, and you want to write on Mondays and do a series recap, please do not hesitate. I've shared this to, join us to multiple fan groups, and I feel like people look at it and go, I don't want to leave my current job, and that's why they ignore it. It's not that. All it is, part time. When you get home from work, you've had a long day, and you want to just get your frustration out and your team's not good, and you want to get the frustration out, and this is a place to do that. I mean, I've written articles, good, bad, ugly, happy, sad. It was one day I literally was sitting here on my couch on a Saturday night and I said, I want my Red Sox to sign Trevor Bauer. And did it come across in a bad way? Probably, because he was willing to sign for a league minimum. And the Red Sox need pitching. And so I was frustrated about that. But I let my feelings out in an article about the team I care about. You can do that. You just gotta come be a part of us. We're a voice of the fans, and your opinions are your own. So if you want to join us, the link is posted right there. Just come be a part of this. We have a lot of fun. We have a general chat group where we talk about everything. We get it all out, and we're an exciting group. So if that's what you want to do, shoot us an email. Uh, I have two Facebooks now. I have a CJ LaValle one, and I have my actual Facebook. Reach out to us there. Reach out to us on Facebook. Reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter. It's all Inside the Diamonds. So if you like what you hear, if you can join in, if you want to talk about your team, whatever it is, just come in, join us, and I'll talk to you. We'll figure something out for you. We'll find a place. We'll find what you can do, and we'll make it work. We're an exciting group, and I might be boring everybody by now. I mean, 15 minutes in. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of fun doing this, and I love what I'm doing. So I'm gonna leave the. Oh no, I want to leave the link up, and I want to take this off and put my ugly face back on. If you want to come deal with me every day, please, really. I'm a lot of fun. I mean, I write I'm on a 76-day streak of writing. So I've written every day for the last 76 days. That's telling you right there what I love. I love this game. I love everything about it. I've told you the stories about, my relationship with my dad's dad and my grandfather. My other grandfather, I have another story on that, which if I'm by myself and we're going to publish this, I'll tell you before we end it. But You know, this is a great group, and we're only growing. We can only continue to grow if we get more people. So if you like what you hear, please come join us. So that leads me into my next thing. JC wanted to talk about the rookie standouts. And because I'm the big prospect guy, I'm going to keep this really short. Um, my big one of the week was Paul Skeens. And I have a big issue with this, which I'll get into in a minute. But he made a start this weekend. He went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, didn't allow a run, walked one, and struck out 8. Guy's pumping at 100 miles an hour again. Now, why he's not in the Pirates starting rotation, it'd be on me. A team that is clearly in the race, but not. Why is he not there? My biggest issue with minor league baseball, and I don't get this, is the first that I said 3 innings. Why are we not pitching guys longer? If you want guys to be starters in the big leagues, why are they not going 5, 6 innings? Now, I get it. You don't want to burn a guy out. But let's not forget that this is the same guy that last year for the LSU Tigers that won the national championship was throwing 105, 110 pitches every start, every Friday night. Now, if you're not familiar with college baseball, the ace of a staff gets Friday nights. Your number 2 gets Saturday, your number 3 gets Sunday. And then the weekday starts, you kind of throw guys out there, see what they got, and you mix and match kind of thing, and just figure it out. So this guy was throwing 105, 110 pitches last year. Now he's throwing, I don't even know what he threw in that start, but he went 3 1/3 innings. We got to figure that out. That's an issue. That is an issue. And I've noticed it, I've been going to AA games being in New Hampshire with the Fisher Cats. I'll be there May 8th. I wrote a great article the other day. If you haven't had a chance, look it up. I covered the Fisher Cats in their 20th season this year. But this is an ongoing issue that I've had a problem with for a long time. Is why are we not stretching guys out? AA, I get it. Single A, I get it. High A, I get it. They're not there yet. But if you're in AAA and we're maxing guys out in the 4th inning, we're pulling them, that's a problem. Unless you view a guy as a reliever. But in this case of Paul Skeens, nobody's viewing him as a reliever. He's a starter. And he's probably the ace of that staff when he gets called up. Nothing against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller's a good pitcher. Jared Jones has looked fantastic. But the things Paul Skeens does, he's a future ace. So we can't be having guys go 3 1/3 innings. Just that can't happen. So that's the one thing we got to work on. But once again, he continues to show that he's ready, and I don't get why he's in AAA. Same thing I said about Jackson Holliday to start the year. I want a new number 1. I don't want it to be Paul Skeens because it's going to be short-lived. So I like a little chaos with the prospects. I'm going to have to update my top 100. That'll probably be coming out, I want to say, the first weekend in May, maybe the second weekend. I got to update that. I do have a new one. I have about 7 players I got to update. Sedan Rafaela just graduated for the Red Sox. Probably by the time I update it, Colt Keith will graduate the Tigers. And a couple others that I forgot to mention. Parker Meadows is off, but he was only in the top 10. He wasn't in the top 100. So I did update the Red Sox and Tigers top 10s. So, and Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford. Carter will probably be off. Langford will probably be on until June. But I like the fun of, looking at prospects and saying, this guy moved up. He's graduated. What's next? Who's the new guy? Who's the new talent coming in that we got to watch? So watch out for that. I'll work on that probably in the next couple of weeks, but we'll get there. The other prospects I want to talk about were the big 3 for the Red Sox. And I'm a Red Sox fan, so I follow a lot of them. I do down the farm for Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Tigers. So these 3 are big ones. I'm going to make it a plan this summer to get a trip up to Portland. And I want to watch these guys play. Hopefully they're there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of them are in Worcester by this point, but that's my plan. So right now the top 3 prospects for the Red Sox are Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and Kyle Teal. And, I mean, that's how you want to build a farm system. You got a shortstop, a catcher, and a center fielder. Anthony's center field, Mayer shortstop, Teal's catcher. They say it all the time. Build it right up the middle. Catcher, short, center. Now you need pitching. We all know that. Red Sox don't have any right now. Or, I mean, their staff looks great, but There's nothing in the system, and that's what they're working on. So let's start with Meyer. This week, Meyer went 9 for 24. He had a home run, had 5 RBIs, 7 runs scored, 1 stolen base, and 2 walks. That's not bad. And I know a lot of people are calling for him to be with the Red Sox right now with Story being out. That's not happening. The guy has not played a full season in a couple of years. He was hurt last year. Let him get some Double A experience. Let him make his way to Triple A. We'll get him up here. He'll be up here. Don't worry about that. This season, he's hitting .357 with an .887 OPS, the 1 home run and the 5 RBIs. But he's riding a 7-game hitting streak since the season started for Portland. I mean, the guy looks good out of the gate. Didn't look good in spring training. Didn't look good in the spring breakout. Give it time. He's getting that swing down. He'll be fine. So do not overreact about what you saw. He will be here. Let's go Roman Anthony, number 2. This week, 6 for 20, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 6 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and 2 walks. He's hitting .333 with a 1.093 OPS, and he has 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Now, both of those home runs came in a doubleheader this past weekend, so he's figuring to swing out. He's still going to be a problem. All 3 of them hit a home run this weekend. We're going to go right on to Kyle Teal now. Teal went 6 for 16 with a double, a home run, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and 3 runs scored. He's hitting .300 with an .891 OPS, and he has a home run and 5 RBIs. I don't know what you could ask for from a catcher. The 2 Sox catchers they have right now, Connor Wong and Reese McGuire, they look good. Kyle Teal is going to be a problem. The thing is with Kyle Teal, Meyer, and those 2 at least, I don't think Anthony is. The Red Sox have a lot of left-handed bats. There's been conversations about extending Casas. They have Devers. Yoshida's a lefty. Duran's a lefty. They have left-handed bats. Today I think I looked at the lineup and I literally sat there and said I think 7 of the 9 hitters were lefties. That's you add Teal to that and you take McGuire out. I believe McGuire's a lefty. It's just lefty loaded. They need a right-handed bat. You got to keep Tyler O'Neill here. That's for sure one. But it's a good week for minor league prospects. The Red Sox look good. Portland, get figuring things out. If you get a chance, if you're in an area of the East Coast in the Eastern League, and you can go watch a Portland game, I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a Red Sox fan, just go look at those 3 kids. They got talent. There's a lot of talent in that Eastern League. I know I'm going, like I said, the 8th. I believe they're playing Harrisburg, which is the Nationals affiliate, and Dylan Cruz is there, who's in my top 10. Dylan Cruz is one to watch. The next thing we want to get into is the Angel Hernandez thing. And my God, how is this guy still umpiring? How in the world is this guy still umpiring? He had the Rangers and Astros series this weekend. And I don't know if you saw the video. He called out Wyatt Langford on 3 pitches. And none of them were in the zone. None. JC put in the manifesto to talk about robo umpires. Now, I like the aspect of a human umpiring game, but if we're going to trot this out, my goodness, that's terrible. That is terrible. You can't call that. All 3 of those pitches were so far out the zone. And I go back to, as a Tigers fan, I remember, what was it? I forget his first name, but it was Galarraga. In that no-hitter, he was out at first. And even Jim Joyce, who was the umpire at first base that day, came out that night and said, I missed the call. He was safe. He was out. I don't like the idea of a robot or a robo umpires. I don't like it. The one thing I do like that the minor league is doing, and I hope this is I believe it is, but I'm hoping it's true, is, they're doing a thing in the minor leagues now where they just do this, and they can argue balls and strikes, and they review it, and they make the decision. That's the thing I want to see. If you have a problem with a call, just this, and they review it, and we go from there. I saw it the other day where somebody literally had 2 strikes, struck out 10 in the inning, reviewed it, and the very next pitch had a double. There we go. Keep that going. That's fantastic. Do that. Umpires are human beings. Just like we as baseball players, everybody who plays this game, we're all human beings. We're not, like Ted Williams said, the only baseball is the only sport or only endeavor where you can succeed 3 times out of 10 and be considered a great performer. It's not wrong, but we're human. There's gonna be weeks where we go, oh, for whatever. It's a part of it. And are we critical because they're our favorite, of a player on our team? Yeah, yeah, we are. It happens. But at the end of the day, just like that, we're critical of an umpire. Umpires are human beings. It, they're gonna make bad calls. It happens. As a player, I played, like I said, multiple times. I played for 25 years. In the last 10 years of running a team and doing all that, I've had my run-ins with umpires. I literally had an umpire at one point a couple years ago that I didn't agree with the call. He called me out on a strike that was, I thought, outside and below my knees. I didn't like it. I voiced my opinion, and I had the fielding umpire walking back to the dugout, and he said, "Are you good? Did you get everything out?" And I said, "No, I'm not happy with it." And he said, "It was a bad call. I don't disagree with you, but it is what it is." They're human beings. We're all human beings. So Angel Hernandez is the worst of the worst. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I mean, I'm going to go back to 2021 as a Red Sox fan. Laz Diaz cost the Sox a win. They should have won that series against the Astros and should have been in the World Series. Did they beat the Braves? Probably not, but they should have been there. And that's an umpire making a bad call that cost you a game. It happens. Does it suck? Yes. And if you're a Red Sox fan, you probably really don't remember that call, and unless you're really bitter about it. But I let it go. It happens. It happens. You can't let it control you. You can't. So move on. I don't know how Angel Hernandez still has a job. I mean, is he the one that's making everybody want robo umpires? Probably. But he's not that. I mean, he's bad. But the rest of them, there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot that I see they might make one bad call here and there. That happens. Like I said, we can't all be perfect. We can't. So get Angel Hernandez out. Don't go robo umpires. And let's roll with what we got. That's all we can do. Let's go into, I guess we'll roll into this. Let's roll into the store. I'll do another little ad read. So, if you're looking for some good apparel, I had some friends say to me today, actually, we were celebrating Patriots Day, having our typical Patriots Day party, doing our thing, had mimosas, we had steak and eggs, celebrated every year. We watched the Sox, we did our thing. But they even said, get some Inside the Diamonds apparel. We have some. The link is right there. You want a sweatshirt? Want a t-shirt? Don't like what we have and you want something else? Shoot us a message. We'll figure it out. But there is stuff there for you. There's a lot of good options. I actually have a sweatshirt on the way. Probably gonna order myself a t-shirt. Summertime's coming. I wear what I'm wearing right now a lot in the summertime. I need a Red Sox Columbia, but stuff's lightweight. So I don't know what this apparel is like. I'm assuming it's good. I like what I've seen. If it's anything like what I've gotten for our sister company, our other company Inside the Drink, I like everything we get. So if you want something, the link is right there. Please represent us. Say nice things about us. It's all right there. So now we'll get rid of that. I'll leave the link up. Again, if you want something, it's right there. Represent us. Be a part of this. So now I'll hide the link. And we'll get into the last thing. And then I'll tell a quick story and we'll get out of here. So let's get into the big story. The Shohei Ohtani scandal. And I'm really I've tried to stay out of it because I like Ohtani and he's innocent. Ipe, or however you say his name, Ipe, whatever, he's a piece of shit. Terrible person what he did. And the more I see about it, the more I hate him. And I was a big fan of him. I liked everything about him because, the story was back in, I think it was 2020 when COVID happened. Ohtani kept him on so he could be his translator, hired him, whatever, and he was a part of everything. And now the truth comes out about what he's done. And he it came out, I believe it was earlier this week, or last week, I'm sorry, where he shut off the notifications every time he made a deposit or whatever, withdrawal from Shohei's account. It's just continuing to get worse. He's in custody, he's arrested, but it's just, he's a piece of shit. And I can't imagine doing that to a friend, especially somebody who went out from the story from 2020, went out and put their back on the line for me. Um, that's a shitty thing. And, I feel for Shohei. I really do. And clearly he's not letting it bother him because he's been on a roll. But that's just terrible human being. Terrible. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the sentence looks like for all of that. But the more of this story that comes out about Ipe, the more and more I can't stand the guy. And the more and more I feel bad for Shohei. And Shohei, from what I've seen, just looks like a nice guy. Looks happy to be in a baseball field, be around teammates, be around friends, And, he looked happy every time he was with Ipe, too. But, this guy's doing what he's doing. Makes you question things. You got to be careful who's around you and what they're doing. Because it really tells you, like we've all known for a long time, you can't trust anybody. And you got to keep your guard up. But I don't really have much to say about it. I try to avoid the whole situation. Because I just don't like it. I just don't like the whole shitty person aspect. I like Shohei Ohtani. I like watching him play. I really do. And so I'm glad he's not letting the outside noise distract him. That's one thing I will say. I really am happy about that. And I'm sure we're going to learn more over the next coming days. I'm sure there's more to come out, but because every day it seems like it's something. Like the fact that he shut the notifications off from Shohei so he wouldn't see the money he was transferring out. To have that kind of control, it seems like he tried to control everything. It does, I've heard a lot of people say it does make the contract that Shohei signed with the Dodgers look interesting. But I don't think it does. I mean, the guy's, it sucks for Shohei now because he agreed to, $2 million a year? And this guy was shoveling out 16. It's just a whole weird situation. And I don't like talking about it. I really don't. I want to talk about baseball. I want to talk about the game. I don't want to talk about the shitty things going on. I really don't. I mean, right now, granted, I have 2 hockey games on because I'm a Red Wings fan, and the Red Wings are fighting for their life, and the Bruins aren't helping us out. So, and the Tigers already lost 1-0. So, so let's go into the last thing I wanted to say. I told everybody I'd tell a story, and I want to take this opportunity to do that. So I've had a few people reach out to me via social media, via whatever, and they said they appreciated the story about my grandfather from April 1st. I don't know where this is going. I don't know how long. I'm hoping we can do this for a long time. I'm hoping this podcast is a thing and it continues to grow and people tune in and they want to hear the stories and they want to hear our life stories and what we have to say about the game we love. So I want to get into the reason why I'm a Tigers fan. So you all heard, why I was a Red Sox fan. My dad's dad, my Pepe Valley, was a big Red Sox fan. So my reason why I'm a big Tigers fan is my mom's dad is from Michigan, and he was a big Tigers fan, big Lions fan, big Red Wings fan, and I really gravitated towards the Lions and the Red Wings. The Red Sox and Tigers, I tell everybody I'm a 55-45 split, where I root for the the Red Sox 55% and the Tigers 45. 2013, I rooted for the Sox more than Detroit. And when it comes to basketball, I'm a Celtics fan. But in 2006, or it was actually before 2006, it was 2000, I want to say it was near the end of 2004, my mom's dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now, if you're familiar with that, it is a cancer that your life expectancy is not that long. They told him he was going to live 5 months. He went 14. That's just the kind of guy he was. And, he always fought. And I had a great relationship with him. The one thing I will always say is I have a great relationship with all 4 of my grandparents. I had a great relationship with both my parents. I still do. Thankful for everything they do for me. But back in 2006, in October, and if you're a Tigers fan, you know this story, Maglio Ordonez hit a walk-off home run in Game 4 of the ALCS and sent the Tigers to the World Series. They ended up losing that World Series to the St. Louis Cardinals. I watched that game with my grandfather. It was actually very, I wouldn't say planned, but I think he had planned. I think he planned for us to sleep over. We ended up doing a sleepover that night, and he had taken 3 naps. He was going through chemo and everything he was going through, and we stayed up. We watched that whole game. We watched the World Series. We watched the home run. Very emotional moment. He ended up passing away a month later, and obviously the Tigers, like I said, did not win the World Series, but that was one of the special moments in my life that I will never forget. We watched that home run. We cried because we thought we had a chance to win it all, and that we were going to do that before he passed away. And obviously, it didn't happen, but I am happy for the memories that it did make, and something that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And my son now has multiple Red Sox and Tigers stuff, and the kid's not going to know once he gets older who he actually is a fan of, and that's okay. He can root for whoever he wants. But I'm hoping he has those memories like I do, and I'm hoping I get to share some with him where, my love for baseball, I get to pass that down to him. Um, One of my favorite memories. It really is. I mean, that home run will live forever within me, and I'm happy it happened. I wish they won the World Series. I wish that was more to the story of it, where we actually had a ring, but we did get to celebrate multiple Detroit Red Wings Stanley Cups, so we have that. Um, but I did want to tell that story. My mom listens to this, and my dad. Um, I made my mom cry when I told the story about my other grandfather, so probably hearing the story about her dad will make her very emotional. Um, but I had to tell it. So there's a lot going on in the game of baseball. There's a lot to be happy about. I know that was a sad story to tell at the end of this, but like I said, I've had people reach out. I've had people ask me my story and why I'm a Tigers fan and why I'm a Red Sox fan, especially living in New Hampshire. Why am I the way that I am? Um, oh, you know what? We'll end this on a more positive note. So I've had a lot of my friends message me, and they see that we share this, and they say, "Oh, CJ, what's with the CJ? I don't like that. Your name's Chris." Yes, my name is Chris, and the story of this goes to I was writing for 2 companies back about a year ago, and I was trying to not double down, so I made my initial CJ, never changed it. I've been writing here for 14 months, like I said, 14, 15 months, whatever. And JC and I became very close, became friends. We talk a lot, we text daily. I thought the idea of the podcast with JC and CJ was a cool idea with the initials. So I left it as CJ. I said, let's do the podcast. I'll be CJ on the podcast. So here we are. If you don't like it and you listen to this, please comment or whatever. And if you want me to go by Chris on here, I will. If you're okay with CJ, that's fine too. Just that's the story though. That's why I'm CJ. Um, my name is Chris. I go by LaValle. I go by Chris. I go by a lot of things. Um, but on here, I go by CJ because the idea of JC and CJ with the initials backwards both ways, I thought it was cool. So that's why we did what we did. And while I've rambled on for 40 minutes, I told you I could talk. But there's a lot to watch this week. One thing that JC did mention that I actually didn't cover, I guess I should do that now, is one series we want to watch this week. So I'll look at my schedule and let's see what we got. A lot of good baseball going on. But this weekend, one series I am looking forward to, I do want to watch the Red Sox and Pirates. Because I want to see what goes on there. I want to see what's happening with the Red Sox. Another series that I'm actually really excited for is the Rays and Yankees. That looks good. Tampa's in 4th. They might be in 3rd. I don't know if they played today. But that's a test for the Yankees, And another one, right off the bat, I'm going to get right into it. I want to watch Orioles and Royals. The Royals are good. They're right off the jump. And the Orioles are the Orioles. Like we've talked about, they're a World Series favorite. So that's a series to watch this weekend. And one final one that I'll give you is Blue Jays and Padres. Blue Jays got off slow. Padres have, I think they played the Dodgers 5 times, and they're 3-2 against the Dodgers. So Padres are another one to watch. So that's another series. Looking forward to this weekend. A lot of good baseball. Watch your team. Watch whatever. Watch some prospects. There's a lot of good prospects to watch. I've mentioned this before. I don't like the aspect of MLB TV where you got to change your favorite team to watch your favorite prospects. But that's what you got to do. And I've been doing it. I've rotated through being from New Hampshire. I watch every Fisher Cats game, whether it's my main TV, my little TV, with all the time differences between the Red Sox and the Tigers. And I've been watching Fisher Cats. Like I said, there's an article out about that I wrote about the Fisher Cats. So that's there if you want to read that. But there's a lot of good baseball, a lot of good prospects to watch. There's a lot to cover. And next week I won't be alone. So, thank you for joining us. And I hope I did all right. And I hope you enjoy. And have a great night and have a great week.